right, thanks everybody for sticking around. We have a really awesome treat for you now. I'm very excited to welcome up here with me Cem Soysal. Cem is the CEO of Inventrum, which is a deep technology investment company and a joint venture of Turkey's largest conglomerate, Koç Holdings, and Mitsui & Co., one of Japan's leading trading and investment groups. Their objective is to commercialize disruptive technologies and technological innovations via smart business models. Cem has 24 years of extensive experience in the IT and telecom sectors. He's also a licensed business angel investing in startups within Turkey and beyond. So thank you for being here with us today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what led you to this point? How did you get started as an entrepreneur?
Thanks, Mary. To be honest with you, when you say entrepreneur, two things come to my mind. Actually, one of them is I'm just creating something from scratch, and the other one is I'm just sales. These two components should exist within one body. That's an entrepreneur to me. I happen to start companies from scratch within large corporations of Turkey. That was my challenge all the time. Start something, just grow something, and just prove something. And at the end of the day, I've always tried, I don't know whether I've succeeded or not, but I've always tried to just end up with a transaction, either a capital gain or just exiting a company or just ending up with a significant sales growth and a profit growth. So for that reason, thanks to the guys, and they call me corporate entrepreneur. At the end of the day, I guess I deserve that title after many, many years of pain and tears, I would say. For that reason, I have been a professional, but I have always acted like an entrepreneur within those corporations.
And now in Inventrum, do you want to share a little bit about kind of why it was so important for you to bring that idea to life with Koç Holdings and kind of what the beginnings of that venture looked like?
Yeah, I was lucky, to be honest with you, because Inventrum, as a small investment company, from the day one, is backed up by the largest group of Turkey. So it gives you a very strong leverage to do business and to make your name strong and to execute whatever your business plan is. If you are hardworking and if you are just committed, you get results at the end of the day. Inventrum got started in 2010. As of today, out of 5,500 projects and companies that do exist in Inventrum's database, those are the applications to Inventrum, we have completed almost six equity investments, company investments, 41 patent investments, because Inventrum is a little bit different than the other VCs. We are more into deeper technologies. Inventrum has been the first of this kind of business. We had a motto. We said, we put our money and effort into deeper technologies with patents, with higher entry barriers, and with engineering technologies, to be honest with you. And in Israel, the startup nation, they call these kind of technologies deeper technologies. Of course, as a business angel, I'm putting money and time into these online and mobile and cloud and gaming technologies as well. But Inventrum is a little bit different over there. We are looking after the paradigm shifters for this country. The reason for that is we don't want Turkey to be in a vicious cycle of competing for cheaper labor with Far Eastern countries, because we will never win that kind of war. You know that. Cheaper labor, low-cost labor is the main concept of the Far Eastern countries, mainly China. So for that reason, Turkey must come up with its own IPs, intellectual properties, own technology, and that's what we are looking after, these paradigm shifters.
And you had a partnership with Koç University from the beginning, right? So that helped you have a steady pipeline of those kind of technologies to work with, right?
Exactly. Koç University is housing great faculty, great professors coming from the reputable colleges and universities of your country, from the States, and they all do have certain projects or certain products in their pockets, and we ask them to productize them together. So it gave us a good start, good initiation. A couple of years ago, we have started the K-Works, which is the incubation center of Koç University. I'm the board member over there as well. So Koç University has been a great playground for us to start with. Then we have extended to all other leading R&D universities of Turkey, like Middle Eastern Technical University, Istanbul Technical. So we have handpicked all these high-tech projects from all these universities and technoparks of Turkey. And today we have ended up with really high quality, high tech investments like robotic hand sensitivity technology, like a diagnostic device, like wearable display. Out of those 6 actual equity investments, 2 of them has got established in the States. One of them is Palo Alto, one of them is Portland, Oregon. So we are really interested in these 9 disruptive areas, starting from IoT, AI, all the way to defense industry, all the way to biotechnology and nanotechnology. So these are all the areas Turkey is not really well known for so far, and Koç Group as well don't have a reputation for. Koç Group is huge in conventional areas. It's big, it's leading, it's $40 billion. But again, these are new disruptive areas. So through Inventram, Koç Group is stepping into these new disruptive, new technology areas as well.
And so while you've been stepping into these new disruptive areas that are maybe better known in other parts of the world, since the beginning, Inventram has been supported by these big domestic players, whether that's Koç Holdings, Koç University, these other universities that you were talking about. But recently, and congratulations on closing a very large deal, you closed a partnership with Mitsui & Co. They acquired a 30%, or maybe I think you mentioned now it's up to 50% close in Inventram. What was it like to lock down, go from being mostly a domestic player to locking down this major foreign partnership?
Thank you. It's not very common for an investment company to exit its shares to another company, because investment companies are established to just sell their portfolio companies, to be honest with you. But we were lucky enough to provoke 2 giant groups' appetite towards each other, actually. One of them is Koç Group, with a 2016 closing of like $44 billion, and the other one is Mitsui Holding, the largest investment holding of Japan, with $98 billion of assets as of last year. So wow. We have become the roof for these 2 groups to just establish a JV, which is a huge JV, and it is the most reasonable thing for both of them to get together, because they can produce a lot of things, not only in this geography, but also in Far Eastern geography, with all their reach, with all their financial, with all their know-how and everything. So we just created a cause for that as Inventram. And as I talked with Mitsui guys 2 years ago, I would say, put this idea on the table. And after 24 months and just a couple hundred pages of due diligences and zillions of meetings, we closed the deal, and over a remarkable evaluation, thanks to them. They put money into the company, but much more important than the money they put into the company, they are now opening the Far Eastern channels, technology channels, investment channels, and startup channels of Japan to a Koç Group's investment company, to Inventram, basically. So it will be a very fruitful JV, not only for Koç Group, but also for Turkey, I believe, because Japanese people are extremely hardworking, extremely detail-oriented, and very decent people. And far ahead of Turkey in terms of technologies, as you know.
Right, so you each had kind of different strengths, and you managed to bring that together in the joint venture. Of course, that's really exciting, but it can be challenging to have 2 different leadership structures coming together. What was that process like of kind of getting both the folks that you're working with at Koç Holdings to come together with Mitsui & Co. in a way that was mutually beneficial for both parties?
Exactly. As I told you, the negotiation was so intense, so challenging, and we are over with that right now. And right now we are looking for certain new action items. I'm starting with I'll be traveling to Japan from time to time, and my first trip action items are I'm just looking for new technology partners for Inventram, looking for prospective, disruptive Japanese startups for Inventram to put money into, and looking for actually VCs and strategic investors for Inventram's portfolio. And last but not least, we do have Japanese patents in our portfolio. So we will look for licensees. We will look for potential companies that will just hire the license of those patents in Japan from our portfolio. These are the action items. And of course, it's mutual. I'm just bringing technology from here to there, and just bringing technology from Japan to enterprises of Turkey, hopefully. And that's what I'll be doing as a liaison for both groups, I would say.
Right. Through that process, which you obviously played a really significant role in, any major lessons that you learned from going through closing a major deal like that?
Mhm. I mean, of course, I mean, I have closed deals in the past at Vestel Group and some other companies. I have closed some certain transactions when I was the country manager of Fujitsu Siemens, to be honest with you. But this was the largest,
much larger,
largest JV actually that I have witnessed myself and my team, to be honest with you. But I mean, again, as I told you, we were lucky that we were backed up with the most reputable, most leading, just the largest conglomerate of Turkey, which is very, very successful in whatever they are doing. I'm just from automotive all the way to finance to all the way to energy and everything. Of course, I mean, just it was so easy to attract the attention of another group coming from Japan, and they were ready, and they were so willing to just collaborate with Koç Holding because they don't really that much exist in this geography, and to just start a business and to just, I mean, just execute certain types of businesses and sales and reaching to customer in this geography. I mean, they need an organization like Koç Holding on their side. I mean, just that's a good I would say, gain on their side. That's a good win on their side, to be honest with you.
Well, I want to make sure I ask you, because you're working with so many exciting new technologies, is there you know, a particular trend or technology that's emerging in Turkey that you're really excited about, or that Inventrum is investing in? And I would ask you the same thing in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. And just if you look at the Turkish geography, it's interesting actually. I do have I just read a couple things from Turkish statistics organization the other day, and in Turkey there are more than 2.7 million companies altogether established as of today, and 99.8, I'm repeating, 99.8% of it are SMEs. So I mean, just for a country, emerging country, to be strong, I'm just, your SME backbone should be so robust and should be growing all the time, because more than 72% of the sales revenue that's getting generated in this ecosystem is executed by these SMEs in Turkey. And beyond that, I mean, most of your SMEs should, from this point on, should step into these disruptive areas and technology areas for the country to be in the playground of the future technologies and future countries. The point I'm saying this, Alibaba, take Alibaba. The other day I read about the transaction that's going through Alibaba is around $510 billion. They are saying that if Alibaba was a country, it would have been the 24th largest economy in the world. I mean, Turkey is the 18th largest economy, so go figures. I mean, some companies are almost as big or as strong as countries right now. So if you want to exist in this new ecosystem, you got to invest into these disruptive technologies, and you got to really create certain technologies that is patented and that is ready to be exported to other countries. I mean, just that really attracts the attention of other countries to be sold. For that reason, we are a little bit behind as Turkey. We do have all these kind of layers. VC layers, private equity layers, business angel layers, accelerators, incubators, and all these entrepreneurs over here, which is great, which is so exciting. But again, the number of results, the number of transactions, the number of projects that are coming to live, should be much more than this. Just for us to have a say in this new, I would say, new model of the world.
And so what's missing to prevent, is it a capital issue? Is it an innovation issue? I mean, it sounds like there's a ton of technological talent, so what do you feel like is preventing this ecosystem from reaching its full potential?
Human resources of Turkey is extremely high, very qualified. I can say that. From certain universities, actually, I'm seeing guys over here, engineers and entrepreneurs, extremely qualified. And the capital is there, not as deep as it is in the States, but it is still there, at least for the seed stage and the Series A stage, as they know, and the angel stage, the capital is there. And for the later stages, of course, you gotta have some sales, you gotta have some customers, you gotta have a product in hand, and if you have all these building blocks in the picture, you will receive funding from other, developed countries like the States. It's not that challenging. And other than that, you asked about the upcoming technologies. As everybody knows, people are on the go today. So the mobile technologies are extremely significant, extremely important. Most of the mobile technologies are disrupting some conventional business models, starting with Uber and everything. I mean, just this shared economy, Airbnb and so on and so forth. These are all disruptive technologies. There's another one. I mean, just we do have all kind of affordable luxuries today, starting with phones, starting with electrical cars and everything. To benefit from that, I mean, there's one simple issue. You got to be alive. You don't have to die. For that, biotechnology is extremely critical. I mean, just biotechnology today is not only giving you a longer lifespan, but I'm just increase your quality of life, standard of life. For that reason, I mean, just biotechnology is the technology of today and the future. Starting with prosthesis, starting with diagnosis devices, starting with new drug molecules that are actually customized for each and every person. Just personalized drug, personalized treatment is a new fashion, new trend, if you will. And other than that, I can say other than nanotechnologies are extremely important as well. But mobile and biotechnology is upcoming technologies. And when I say biotechnology, I'm talking about food technology as well. Food technology is organic food and natural food and everything. I mean, it's a big issue today. I mean, people are trying to stay healthy and stay away from pesticides and so on and so forth. So these are all the components of biotechnology and life sciences. So it's the new trend.
And are you seeing a lot of those innovations taking place here, at least coming out of Turkey?
Not coming out of Turkey. I'm just a few is coming out of Turkey. To be honest with you, when you look at Turkey, more like electronic embedded systems is in the place. I mean, just we do have AI technologies. We do have wearable technologies. For example, take some of our investments. The CEO of one of our companies is over here. It's a wearable technology, augmented reality technology, which you put on your head. It's an Industry 4.0. It reflects all kind of contents on the surface that you are looking at in a manufacturing environment. So it's a new kind of technology. So augmented technology, virtual reality technology, AI technology, all kind of IoTs. These are the type of technologies that are recently coming out of Turkey, with the help of certain professors, certain creative entrepreneurs, and of course with the help of funding, and with the help of, I would say, business knowledge that we are providing to these companies.
Right.
Of course, it's not only the money, because these guys, these professors or these inventors, these entrepreneurs are like divas when they are in the kitchen of what they are doing, productization process. But take them out of the kitchen, they are almost like naive kids, because they don't know about finance, they don't know about customer management, they don't know about pipeline management and sales. At the end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, there's one thing you gotta do, you gotta sell. Other than that, you don't exist. For that reason, we do help all these guys with all the knowledge and with all the resources that we have in hand.
Mm-hmm. That's a really awesome point. Do you think that there's more that this ecosystem here in Turkey can do to support the development of those types of business skills early on, so that they can be combined with the technological expertise and startups can get off the ground quicker? Or I guess that might replace your business model.
There's a lot to do, of course. There's a huge space to grow into. We are at the very early steps of this. Investor entrepreneur ecosystem in Turkey. Look at the States, for example. There are more than 320,000 certified angel investors in the States. In Turkey, there is only 300,000. So it's a big difference, to be honest with you. So we are far away from that yet. But again, all kind of layers and all kind of components. Financing, funding, accelerating, incubating, selling. It's in the picture. Take Inventram. We do have a new business model called preferred partners. We have created this model because in Turkey there's a saying, hungry man should be creative. It's got to be creative. And as an entrepreneur myself, I always do have a hunger for new type of things. I'll do appetite. So what I did is I created a model. I said I gotta find the high-tech engineering companies of Turkey with products and services, and we will sell to Koç Group companies together, whatever we have in hand. And it started as a very, I would say, very trial version model. And we have ended up with 15 contractual-based preferred partners who are administrative, technological, and human resource-wise and financial-wise eligible for this preferred partner ecosystem. And we have been selling, we have closed more than $11 million of sales only to Koç Group enterprise companies. Wow. And having that as a reference on our side, now we are just serving to other leading enterprise companies of Turkey with these small companies, even with one of them, which is counting people that are going into these retail shops. That's called VCount. These guys do know VCount. We are now planning to start an office in Japan together, just to sell the Japanese market.
Starts to come full circle.
There's a lot of opening when it comes to inventory, because we are now being owned not only by Koç, but also another multinational company. So we can just create sales channels as long as they do have the appetite and they do have the passion to do that with us.
Well, on that note, and I want to make sure that I get to ask you this as an entrepreneur and as an investor, what advice would you, what one piece of advice would you give to Turkish investors who are interested in investing in Turkish companies and in some of these deep technology innovations? And then what advice would you give to Turkish entrepreneurs who are looking to go global?
Actually, the guys who have accomplished these significant exits during the last 5 years are all my friends actually, starting with Yemek Sepeti, Gitti Gidiyor, Positron, now Fatih is managing another company in the States which is Monetize, who just bought Positron. They do have one thing in common that I can see. They have a saying that 100 hours is the amount of time they put into work during a week time. If you just consider that, you don't have to sleep during Sunday as well. So 100 hours is sort of challenging, but that is one thing, one component that you have to put on the table as an entrepreneur. So you have to have the passion, and you have to have the commitment to put into hours and everything into this working environment, into this business that you create from scratch. That's one thing. The other thing is you have to have the awareness of the customer, because at the end of the day, falling in love with your product is sort of, I would say, fatal. It kills the business. You got to fall in love with one thing. It's called customer. As Jack Welch says once, the corporates don't have to guarantee your job. Only customers can guarantee your job. So please keep that in mind. As long as you sell, you do exist, and you do grow your business. That's one thing I can say. You got to sell, and you got to on top of your business. And it's not like I'm just being an entrepreneur. It's not like I'm just private life, work-life balance. There's nothing like that. There's nothing, forget about it. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it is a very challenging, tears, and painful, and a lot of other, I would say, endeavors on that pathway that goes all the way to the success as an entrepreneur. It's not like my private life, my work life. No, there's nothing like that. One of my angel investor friends keeps telling me that if I'm gonna invest into a company, I will ask that entrepreneur what he's doing at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. I said, it's none of your business. It's a private life. No, it's my business. I want him to think about his business even at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. So it's that competitive, I'm telling you. 1.5% of all these startups are getting funded out of 100. Globally and locally, this is the statistics. So please try to be on your feet, and if you are committed and passionate enough with your business, and if you do have, of course, I'm not telling that, the right education and the right work experience background for growing and just for creating such a business, then it's not that hard to get funded, because all those components in place in Turkey right now.
It's all about the commitment.
Commitment, exactly. Yeah. Commitment and passion.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, your insights with us. I know we all really appreciate having Cem here, so please, one more round of applause for him.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mary.